Hey everyone, so I'm back in the kitchen today. I'm so excited. You probably already guessed I love to cook. Never thought I would say that, but I do. But I'm back in the kitchen today getting ready to prepare a nice meal. I'm getting ready to cook stuffed chicken. It's gonna be stuffed with bacon and spinach, okay? I can't wait to try this out. But I'm gonna take you on a journey with me, so tune in. Hey. So I've decided to go ahead and just make a video with me just kind of going through the basics of this meal and kind of just go through the process with you. So I have the ingredients here for the stuffed chicken. So I have my chicken breast here. And you guys, please excuse the mess that I have back here. But here's the chicken breast. So just got a little bit of that boneless, skinless as well. And I also have turkey bacon. So I'm cooking with turkey bacon. That's actually what I prefer versus just the regular bacon. So that's kind of what we eat here. A little healthier. And then I'm going to be stuffing it with spinach. So I'm actually chopping it up right now. Just regular spinach from the grocery store. And I have mozzarella. So we're gonna stuff it with mozzarella. And so with this, I'm going to be mixing some cream cheese with it. And as far as any seasoning, I have black pepper. For those of you who have been following me for a while, you may notice that I don't cook with salt. As a matter of fact, I have kind of taken salt out of my diet. In all honesty, the salt and pretty much everything else, you're gonna get the sodium from this. So I prefer to just not season with salt. There's so many different herbs that I blend together that make a great taste and great flavor. And so the traditional salt is just not healthy. It's not healthy for me. It makes me feel very bloated, and that's just not cute, okay? And it don't make me feel cute because I can feel it and I listen to my body a lot. And a lot of times we may experience that, you know, after you eat certain meals that are heavy, especially high in sodium, you don't feel well, you feel tired, you feel exhausted, but sometimes we don't do anything to change it. I think I wrote in the blog or stated in another video that I have been a big condiment junkie. I made like this Southwestern hamburger, like turkey burgers, so good. And I had to create my own condiments. My go-to snack in the past was French fries and honey mustard. You couldn't take me away from it, but now I barely even eat it because any condiments make me feel bloated and it's just not comfortable, and I've been suffering with that for years. And so I realized that it was the sodium in the condiments, so I create my own. So I cook with more herbs. So I'm using black pepper, some red pepper. I'm going to garnish with some parsley flakes. I don't have any fresh today. You guys, I love garlic. Okay, so I cut some garlic up. And I typically don't follow like the regular recipes they have online. I just kind of create my own little flavors. And I'm going to be cooking with olive oil. So I'm gonna just kind of show you a picture of what I do have. Let's see how I can turn this. Okay, so what I have decided to do is create the stuffing, the cheese mixture with the spinach. In the past, I've made like cheese dips, like mozzarella dips, with spinach, similar to what I'm doing right now. And I've used like a mixer. Right now, I just have everything in a bowl. And because we're stuffing it into the actual chicken breast, which I will show you in a moment, I'm just going to go ahead and mix it by hand. So I have in the bowl the cream cheese. I have 4 ounces of that. So a half of a whole of this because this is 8 ounces. And then I have already chopped up the spinach. I have the recipe goes for 1 cup of mozzarella, but I barely like use measuring cups and stuff like that. I kind of just gauge. So I just kind of mix and add as I need to. And then red pepper. So I love cooking with pepper because it gives a great flavor, but I have to also be cognizant of the little one here and not make my food too spicy because I am not a fan of spicy food. I suffered with allergies my entire life, and so although pepper is good for you, it boosts your metabolism. I just don't really see that it makes sense to like hurt yourself as you're trying to eat something just for the benefit. You know what I mean? So anyways, I'm adding some of it for flavor, but ultimately I have to be mindful of how much I put in. So I just sprinkled a little bit of the pepper. And because I am going to be mixing this in the chicken, I'm going to also add some garlic and some garlic powder to this, because you guys, you know I love me some garlic. That brings out so much great flavor. And then the bacon is going to also add the sodium and the flavor itself. So as I stated before, we don't need salt. We just don't need it. At least not for my household. If you want your salt, then you can have it. But my purpose for like really showing you different recipes is to kind of promote, you know, great health, and to just help you identify with, you know, great ways, healthier ways to cook meals, so that you can feel good also with it. In my mind, I'm kind of thinking, what can I pair with this meal? I'm not sure if I'm gonna add a side to it or if it's actually necessary, but who knows, we'll see in the end. So I have this nice mixed. I got a lot of spinach, which is good. You can use your hands, however you want to do it. But now I'm going to get the chicken prepared so that we can go ahead and stuff it. I will go ahead and say I'm going to be baking this. That's my preferred measure or way of cooking. So I'm going to be baking the chicken. I have the oven preheating at 400 degrees, and I'm going to get that in the oven once I get this nice and stuffed. So I'll see you in a moment. All right, so I have cleaned the chicken and seasoned it. So I actually just kind of added some garlic powder to both sides of the chicken breast and a little bit of black pepper. And I also added some minced onion to it, just so that when it bakes, it has a nice crunch on top. So right now I'm in the process of actually cutting the chicken, trying to be careful not to cut all the way through so that it can hold the content that I'm going to be stuffing the chicken with. So that is currently what I am doing. So I'll show you that in just a moment. So guess we can just chat for a little bit. You know, some people ask, you know, what is the motivation behind, you know, fitness and health? And for me, it's about being able to live, you know, the life that God wants me to live. I believe that, you know, when we are healthy mentally, physically, and spiritually, we can live beyond our imagination. We can live our fullest life. We can live according to our purpose, right? And some of us are living our purpose, but are we maximizing that potential? And so, you know, a lot of times we have this finite vision and way of viewing things. Once we get to this particular point, we're done. But I believe that with God, we are never quite done, because he can always take us to a higher level. And so I believe that, you know, for instance, with fitness, I don't strive to get fit for anybody else. Okay. That's not my goal. It's for my personal, my personal satisfaction, and really what I feel God wants me to do. Because if I am trying to get fit for vacation, if I'm trying to get fit for date night, if I'm trying to get fit to go to a class reunion, I am pleasing people around me. And then once I've met that objective, then how do I feel afterwards, right? What happens is we go back to our old way of doing things. But if we are motivated and we are connecting our why to our desires and the desires of what God wants for us, we can never go wrong, because God is not a God that lies, right? There's always truth in what he wants. His will is perfect, but the will of others is not always that way. And sometimes, like for instance, you can have 1 million followers on Instagram and people can say, oh yeah, you know, this is good. And they can affirm you doing the wrong thing. So we got to be extra careful. Like, people are great to inspire and to motivate and to receive it from, and we give to others as well. but we have to always understand that our why should always be connected to the will of God. And so for me, it, you know, and I started writing my book about the core, it was about spiritual fruit and character, but then I began to realize that a lot of us can't get to it because there's so many other things that are distracting us. And so for me to identify my why, I have to always be centered, not just, you know, spiritually, but physically and, you know, even mentally, so that I can cope with so many distractions and so many things that happens throughout the day. So that's one of the reasons for, you know, me sharing with you these, you know, different, you know, recipes and sharing with you some of my workout videos. I am no expert, I am no chef, but I am, you know, someone that takes care of her family. You know, I'm someone that is blessed to have, you know, talents in certain things and to experience things. So why not share that with you? And so that is my whole goal. So with that being said, I'm going to show you, okay, y'all, I'm not that great with technology. I'm going to show you what this chicken is looking like, okay? So okay. So here, this is the actual minced onion. So I cut the little slits in here. And so what I'm going to do is take this, right, mixture, which is my spinach and my cheese mixture for those of you that are just viewing. And then I have my turkey bacon over here. I'm going to take every other slit and stuff it with a different product. So I'm going to have bacon, cheese, and spinach. Bacon, spinach, bacon, spinach. That's how I'm going to stuff it, okay? So I'm getting ready to do that right now. All right, you guys, so I am done with the stuffing. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like. So I have it on the pan here. It's getting ready to go into the oven. It looks so good. I don't know if you can really see it from this angle. I may have to turn my camera around. It looks so good. Before I put it in the oven though, I'm going to drizzle. I like to cook with avocado oil, sesame oil, sometimes olive oil, but I'm using avocado oil. I'm just gonna drizzle a bit on it over the chicken, and okay, there goes my little one. Okay, so I don't want to drizzle too much, but just a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this over here. I'm gonna turn my camera around so that you can see it before I put it into the oven. So here it is. So, you know, I don't like to waste the little extra bacon that I had. I just kind of chopped them up really finely and made bacon bits to go on top to bake. And then the extra garlic, I went ahead and just kind of threw some on top as well to give it the flavor that it needs. So I have the oven set for 400, and I think I'm going to leave this in for about 20 minutes or so. If I have to keep it in a little longer, then I will let you know, and I will come back for the final result. Okay, so I just took the chicken out of the oven. I'm going to show you the results in just a moment. So I had it in for about 35 minutes. It looks pretty okay, but I'm going to go back and stick it in the oven some more just because it's not cooked all the way. I did also put the chicken in the oven uncovered. I love to keep my chicken wrapped so that you can like contain the moisture, but because it was stuffed, I didn't wrap it. So what I'm gonna do right now is show you what it looks like. So let me just actually come and bring it to you. You can barely see it, but it looks really good so far. But as I poke through, I want to make sure that it's actually cooked all the way. And then I'm going to kind of cover it up a little bit, let it cook for, or bake for about another 10 minutes or so. And then I'm going to take it out for the final reveal. As I was making the chicken, I noticed that I had some extra cheese. So I'm also going to bake this cheese dip. All I did was add some oil to it, place it in the pan, and I'm gonna go ahead and bake it. This is like a spinach mozzarella cheese dip that a lot of people ask me to bring, like when we go to like house parties and stuff, they love it. And so I'm going to go ahead and stick this in the oven because you know me, I don't like to waste, and I didn't want to waste the extra cheese that I had. So I'm gonna also cover this up, and I'm going to bake it as well. So this is just a closer look at the chicken so that you can kind of see. So like I said before, looks really good, but I'm gonna go ahead and cover it and place it back in the oven for about 10 minutes or so. All right, guys, so that extra 10 minutes definitely helped. This meal is prepared. I'm going to show you the final reveal. So excited, like I said before, and like I state in all of my blogs, less is more. So I did not pair this with an actual side. Obviously, you can add a spring mix to it or asparagus, but I think that you'll get a great biteful from this particular meal, and it's so beautifully plated. So I hope you enjoy the final results, and I hope that you give it a try as well. Okay, so I just took the cheese out of the oven. It looks really good. I added the minced garlic to it and minced onion just to give it a little more crunch to it, but it looks really good. So I'm going to show you that in just a moment. So here it is. You can see where it's golden around the sides and on top where the minced garlic and onion is. So now I'm going to plate and see how creamy it is. So good. All right, you guys, so everything is complete. The stuffed chicken breast was really good. It was amazing. The only thing that I would do differently is put it in like a pan and cover the whole thing just so that the moisture stays in the chicken. I wouldn't say it was dry, but I think it could have been a little bit more juicier than what it was, but it was ultimately really good. If you are a cheese lover like myself, you could also add or sprinkle mozzarella cheese on top prior to putting it in the oven. But again, I'm trying to make a healthy dish. So like I said before, I took the extra cheese and I baked it in the oven and I created a cheese dish. Typically when I make my cheese dishes, I'm combining like Italian cheese with mozzarella and a few other things. You can add chicken to it and bake it inside of the cheese dip. You can also add shrimp to it and bake it just to give it a little extra protein or extra meat rather. But for the sake of time today and because I wasn't really planning to make it, I took my scraps and I created a cheese dip from just the mozzarella, the spinach, and the cream cheese. And so obviously with the mozzarella, it's like a big, huge cheese stick. So you can actually put like breadcrumbs over it to give it that crunch. I actually put the, the minced garlic and minced onion across the top. So it gave it a great crunch. But I actually plated it with cucumbers. See that? So again, trying to stay healthy instead of going to the chips. This is not the healthiest of dips, but due to all the cheese. But, you know, using cucumbers to scoop it up is also a healthy way to have a healthy appetizer with your family. So that is all for today. I enjoyed speaking with you. I enjoyed cooking and kind of showing you some tips and ideas and just a little bit of my own thought processes. Hopefully in the future, I can maybe do a live or something and maybe record more videos for you to enjoy. But until then, God bless. I'll see you soon.